Hey Flosstube, back for another week. This is brought to you by no makeup and been sick all day. But I know that I'm a day late, so I thought I need to get on here and share with you guys. I am in my Stitchy room and my bird is over here, and I do not know why, but every time I start talking, she decides she wants to chirp. So, yeah, there's your pre-warning. So let's start with my week goof up. Have you ever had a week where you've just like goofed up? So we're going to start with my weekly bloopers. I'm going to start something new. I'm going to call it my weekly bloopers. So I told you guys on another video that my aunt and I got this pattern and that we were going to do it together. And so she messaged me and she said, I've started mine. And I said, okay, great. I'll get mine started. So I didn't have my fabric cut, didn't have my threads ready. So I thought, I'm going to hurry up and get with it. So I did good. I pre-cut my fabric and got it, my edges done, and I started on it. And I was up in the middle of the night last night, sick, so I thought I'm going to sit down and stitch on it. And then I realized I stitched it on the unmodeled side. So I've got to take all of that out. And I thought about leaving it, but then it's just going to look so much better on this side. So just going to take it out. I don't know though. I may just stitch that little seam. Where's my thing at? I thought about doing this. Stitch this little house and the tree and this. And then put it on my desk at work. And then cut another piece and do this. That may be what I do instead of ripping it out. We'll see. But that's my blooper of the week. I stitched it on the wrong side. But that's a pretty good little start. I don't have all of my colors that I need for it, so just got started on what I could. So how's your week been? Now that I've showed you my bloopers, I'm going to back up a little bit. So this last weekend was 24 hours of cross stitch. And on my last video, I told you guys all these plans that I had. I was going to stitch on 8 projects for 3 hours a piece. But I forgot I was going to be driving 4.5 hours to the beach and 4.5 hours back, which took up 8 hours of my time. So, needless to say, that did not become a reality. But shout out to my aunt, LSH Stitcher on Instagram. She did like 22.5 hours or something like that. Got a crazy amount of stitching done. So I love to see it when other people are able to do it. I don't know why. When I make plans, it's just like something's going to happen to where it's not going to work out. But it was a good kind of workout. So a little bit what had happened is Friday, my goal was to get gone from work and to get on the road to the beach about 2 o'clock. So that would have put me at the beach about 6:30. And so Barefoot Needle Art was hosting 24 hours of cross stitch, and they were going to be stitching until like 9 that night. And so my goal was to go in and stitch. And my friend Lori, Mischievous Stitches, and I were going to get up the next morning and register for the February 2024 cross stitch retreat. So I ended up not getting into town until 9:45 Friday night. So needless to say, I didn't get to go stitch Friday afternoon, which was a bummer. The weather was pretty nasty going down, and I ended up having to stay at home. There was a severe thunderstorm, and my kids don't do well with storms. My middle one doesn't. So I ended up staying in town till the storm got past, and then leaving. And so that put me driving, kind of chasing the storm all the way to the coast until I finally got through it. But it was like misting on me all evening. And I've got to where I don't know if it's my age or what, but I do not do well with the lights. So just, and now it gets dark early. So I was driving in some pretty nasty weather, but got into town, and Memory and Amy were kind enough with Barefoot Needle Art to let us come and stay with them. So we had a great time, and me and Lori just had ourselves a little girls party that evening and sit around and talked and all that good stuff. It was a lot of fun. And then we got up the next morning and went out to eat with Amy and Memory. And then we went over and waited in line for the shop to open so that we could register. We did get registered, but they sold the retreat out in 3 minutes. So it was nuts. It was, I don't know. I've never really had that great of an experience, you know, like Black Friday, Thanksgiving. But this was like an adrenaline high, just sitting there waiting. And then we had friends that were messaging us, and I've registered. And so we were standing there, and we were like, did they get in? Did they get in? And we could see what number that they were popping in as registered. So it was a lot of fun. It was really an adrenaline rush. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. But I ended up, I was going to stay until about 3. And then go out and eat with my friend Kim that I met at the last retreat. And we were going to go out for wings and stuff. And I just got to feeling so bad. And I ended up having to leave about 11:30. I get migraines, and I get these black floaters in my eyes. And so I was afraid. Being 4.5 hours away from home, I didn't have my medicine. So I was like, I need to get on the road and get started. And that way, if my husband had to come get me, that, you know, we would be okay. But I think it was just, you know, under sleep. Like, I ended up being okay. I did finally get an Imitrex and took it. And it you know, it never ended up becoming a bad headache. It was just a nagging headache for the rest of the day. So, but I did make it home. But my Stitchy friends are just the best. People were messaging me, checking on me, and I don't know, it just makes me feel so special. So I really am grateful for all of you guys that are my Stitchy friends. And regardless if we just message on Instagram, you really do fill my life with a lot of joy. And I love seeing what you guys are working on. So I do not take them friendships lightly at all. And I'm very grateful for each of you. So yay. But anyway, stitching for the week besides my blooper. I will have to say, I got to give my friend Kim credit again. So I got so tickled. We were sitting there stitching, and I look up, and she has on 2 pairs of glasses. And then I got to really watch, and I didn't ask because I was like, I don't want to draw attention. But she had it look like her prescription glasses on and then her readers on. And I thought, that's genius, because I've got astigmatism in my eyes. And so if I look at something for too long, my eyes want to go crossed because of my astigmatism. So she had on 2 pair of glasses. So I come home and I thought, I'm going to try it. And so, because if I use my readers to be able to see, I feel like my eyes still go cross-eyed. But if I use my prescription glasses, they're still not strong enough. So I come home and did it. And I put my prescription glasses on. So now my eyes are right. And then she had her readers on underneath it. And I was like, it's genius. So now when I sit and stitch, I can see my stitches and my eyes don't go cross because of my astigmatism. And yes, I know they have them things that clamp on there, but I just never have done that. I just use my glasses. But look, is that not genius? I can't see a thing if I look at you through the readers, but she just puts on 2 pair. And I was like, that's so smart. So that's what I've been doing. Alright, so let me show you about some stuff that I got. So I did get registered for the February 2024 Barefoot Needle Art Retreat. I'm super excited. It was so fun sitting there and names popping up of folks that I know got registered and got in. And there was folks literally pulling off on the side of the interstate traveling. My other friend, Kimberly, she's like, did I pull over and register? Yes, I did. So I was like, did Kimberly get in? And so we looked, and she had got in. So it was so much fun. I really hate I didn't get to stay and go out and eat wings and stuff with the group, but it was so much fun, even just a little bit of time that I was there. So, but I ended up getting me this tote bag. It is a huge tote bag, and Lori has got one, and that's what she keeps her project bags in. So I did get one of these because I've got to support my friends. They are the nicest group of folks down there. You've not checked them out. You need to go check them out. But yeah, so I got that. And then I realized I showed you this bag in a couple of videos ago, but I never did show you the patterns that we got from the retreat that were made for the retreat. So this is them. They're designed by Janine McGowan by the Blue Flower. They are cute. They're designed to be little postcards. And I did notice they had a couple for sale in the shop still whenever I was down there over the weekend. I don't know if they've got sold out since, but this one is like must stitch. This one, I mean, they're just gorgeous. And they're finished like little postcards. Like here's the finish on the back. So you can stitch them that way. Super cute. And then they had two choices for fabrics. One was like a sandy color, and then this color. Let me make sure that, let me see if I can get you to see the model. Yeah, the modeling's on there. So I got this one to be able to do, sorry it's not ironed, but to be able to do them on. I'm super excited to start them. So, and then I had pre-ordered the fancy floss to be able to do them. And I got to pull in, it calls for fancy floss and some DMC. So I still got to pull the DMC to do it. Oh, y'all, I look a hot mess. I'm sorry. I've been sick all day today and been in the bed. Okay, so there's that one. All right, my next one is my Holiday Quaker. So here's what it looks like. And I was noticing there's a Halloween one that's kind of similar to this one that was hanging on the wall at Barefoot Needle Art. So I'm going to have to see about that one. I think I might have it in my stash. I'm not sure. So I got to double check. So when I was up in the middle of the night last night, I put some in on this one. So I've almost got this corner motif completely finished. And then I'm going to move down. But it's coming, so it's gonna be, look at that modeling. It shows up so good with this light, guys. It's gonna be gorgeous. Gorgeous. I really enjoy stitching on this one. It's my first sampler that I really got into, but here's the one. So I'm stitching on this one up in here, and I'm gonna kind of move down and go this way because I want to get all of this finished, and then I want to stitch Santa right on the week of Christmas. So you know how it is with my plans, though. I make plans. All right, so I got stitching on that one. And then before I go into this next one, I wanted to back up a minute. So at the retreat, I keep finding things that I remembered to show you guys from the retreat several weeks ago. So my aunt made these beautiful counting pens, and she made them. Aren't they beautiful? Let me take them out of the bag so it's not so glary. But I'm definitely going to be using these soon. I'm going to start working on my Kringles piece some this week. So these are definitely going to be used. And then she also gave me this. She handmade me a scissors fob. It's really pretty. To hang on my scissors. I took it off to be able to show you guys. And then some goodies too. So I wanted to show you that. And then while I was at the shop this weekend too, I got these. They're gnome Christmas scissors. Got those. And then another lady at the retreat gave us these ghost scissors. Dropping stuff, sorry. Gave us these ghost scissors for Halloween. And then the retreat gave us the scissors fob. So I put that on that pair of scissors. So there's that. And then when we were at the retreat, me and my Stitchy sister, that's what I'm going to start calling her. My Stitchy sister. We were working on the October 31st sale. It's on Instagram, hashtag OCT31SAL. And it's hosted by Mischievous Stitches. So we were sitting working on this one. And she brings me a Stitchy gift. I stink at thinking about gifts, but she brought me over the scissors and the scissor fob. And we matchy-matchy, so we're Stitchy sisters. So, I thought that was super sweet. I keep it in that project we're stitching on. And then, let's see. So, I made a pretty good bit of progress on this one. So, that's how far I've got. So, that's about as big, and then I got to come across the bottom, and then the crow comes up. So I'm going to start working on that this week and getting it finished. I love how you can see the modeling with this light. It's amazing. I need to cut my fabric down, though, to make it easier to handle now that I know where it's going to be. So, y'all, I have got, like, some crazy, crazy problems. I do not know why. It stresses me out so bad for me to think about cutting cross-stitch fabric. But it does. So I just start stitching and then I cut it, and then I know I'm not going to mess up and make a wrong calculation. Alright, so that's two projects for the week. Well, 3, because I done showed you my blooper piece. Alright, then I broke out Autumn Rules. This is one that I'm really close to a finish on. It was a stitch along last year, and I started the stitch along and I never finished it. So I did a pretty good bit this week. So I got the green finished here on this flower, and then I started up here. So I got rules and I started on the pumpkin. So this will be the halfway up point, and then I'll have the halfway down point to go. So it's gonna be a pretty big piece. But I definitely want to have this one done before winter starts. So. Made good progress on that one. And then I stitched on my Halloween piece that Miss Kim gave me. So this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. And I'm doing mine on a bright green fabric. Take the pattern off here. So I've got more work done on the B over here, and I started on the Z. This one I worked on in the car some this last week. So I'm wanting to, I know I'm not going to get this whole thing done, but I'm trying to get, so I've got A and this part of B, and I started on Z. So I'm trying to get over here to do the October with the spider and the 3 and the 1 this year. And then I'll just keep working on that as it goes. I like to stitch seasonally. So when the season's over, I'll put this away, and then, I don't know, I may continue to put a couple of stitches in it just to keep progress on it, but yeah. So, I think that's it. I think that's all my stitching for the week. Plans for the week. I'll make sure I didn't stitch on any of these. Nope, didn't. I didn't stitch on my lady this week either, so I gotta do better this week. As far as stitching plans for this week, I'm just going to keep putting a couple of stitches in like I've been doing. Want to work on organizing my floss a little bit better. It's still not, it's really stressful for me to find floss, and I don't want for it to be that way. My aunt called me Saturday, and they were having a sale at Michael's, 40% off everything regularly with a coupon. And so she got floss for like 20-something cents a skein. So I need to be more prepared. So if they send out that coupon again, I'll be able to get more, be able to go and get what I need, I guess I'd say. But yeah, for the week, I'm going to continue working on these pieces, working on my October 31st, the green one and the one with the crow. I want to get that Autumn Rules done. So just going to continue chipping away at those. I do want to do a thread a day in my lady this week. So yeah, that's kind of my plans. And I've been home from sick from work sick today. I pretty much slept all day. I did get up and do some work, and then did a lot of sleeping today, but I think I'm going to be okay to go back to work tomorrow. We'll see, hopefully. So far, my stomach's okay. We'll see how it goes. But that's all I got to share with you guys. Got Stitchy plans made for January next year to a retreat. February is the Barefoot Needle Art Retreat. So I'm super excited. My mom is going to be going with me to the one in February. I stood in line and registered and paid for mine. And then I had to set an alarm on my phone for 3 minutes till 10. And I was ready and kept refreshing the page because my mom was on the road. She's a truck driver. And so I was trying to schedule her to go. And so my alarm went off and I was sitting there ready, and it turned 10 o'clock and I kept refreshing and the link wasn't showing up and I was panicking, but I kept refreshing and I filled it in and I got her in. And that quick, me literally sitting there, I think she was number 26 on the list, just that quick. So it definitely sold out in a hurry, but I did get her a spot, so thank goodness. But yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys have a great week. If you're stitching on something or you got to finish this week, tag me over on Instagram so that I can see it. So what Stitcher, SEWWATSTITCHER. And I would love to see what you're up to. And I will be back next week to show you what progress that I've got further. Have a great week, and I hope you get tons of stitching time. Bye-bye.